what's your problem? And I was literally crying. And he was like, womp, womp, womp. Story time on how my ex cheated on me. So long story short, I lived in a duplex, and on one side I lived, and on the other side my friend lived. Let's call him AJ. We grew up together. We've known each other since forever. We've always been close. La da da da. I was taking out the trash one day, and he was playing soccer with his friend, and I was like, who is that? And then he was like, oh, this is, let's call his friend Jay. And then he was like, this is my friend Jay. And then after I took out the trash, I just sit there on the sidewalk, and I was just sitting there. And then he's like, Emily, what do you think about Jay? And I was like, oh, I just met him. Like, I don't really know this kid, but I mean, he seems nice. And then he was like, damn. And then I was like, then he asks his friend Jay, and he's like, yo, Jay, what do you think about Emily? And then he was like, Jay was saying like a bunch of negative things about me. He was like, oh my gosh, she's so ugly, blah, da, 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 like, ew. And then I was like, I was just gonna go back inside, and then AJ's like, Emily, let's go play hide and seek. And I was like, nah, I think I'm just gonna go back inside. And he's like, no, let's just go play. And I was like, okay. So we were playing, and AJ was the seeker, and Jay and I had to go hide. And then this was a weird part. I don't even know how I remember. Jay was like, Emily, let's go hide under the bed. And I was like, okay. So I was about to go back home and everything, and like get over with this. Cause like I kind of felt weird, because it was like hanging out with two guys and just me, and I like felt kind of weird. As I was gonna go back, I was like, okay, AJ, I'm gonna go. And then AJ was like, yo, this is your chance, this is your chance. And I was like, what are you guys talking about? And then like I obviously know what was going on. I was just like, don't tell me he likes me, bro. AJ was like, yo, Emily, Jay needs to tell you something. And I was like, what? And then I turn around, and he's like, can I have your snap? Like, I just met you. Well, I gave him my snap and everything, and we were talking a lot that night. Like, I feel like I got really comfortable really quick. Shortly after that night, when we hung up, he had told me that he liked me. We just met. Okay, well, he did end up asking me out, and stupid me, I said, okay. Dude, that relationship lost like 2 weeks, or 1. Not quite sure. Well, anyways, he saw me, and that same day, like first day seeing each other, dating, that was our first kiss. Good to know. I hate saying this, but I was still in contact with my ex, and I told him that I was dating someone new. And he was like, I feel like you should do a loyalty test on him. And I was like, really? Why? And he's like, I don't know, I just don't have a good feeling. And I was like, okay. Okay, so how I did this loyalty test was I asked my friend for a face photo of her. And I added him, and he added me like super quick. Like, well, anyways, I didn't really care that much. But like, I was like, why is he adding other girls back like that? But I was like, also like, well, maybe he probably thinks it's someone from his school. I was like, face review, and he was like, yeah. And he said I was pretty. My friend, he called my friend pretty. So we were just having a normal conversation, and then I had shortly then asked if he had a girlfriend, and he was like, yeah, I do have a girlfriend. And I was like, really? ... And he was like, wait, no, never mind, I don't. And I was like, and then I was like, well, I think you're pretty cute. And he was like, thanks. And then I was like, do you want to date? And he's like, I just met you. And I was like, but that's okay. And he's like, but I have a girlfriend. And I was like, she doesn't have to know about it. And he was like, I'm just kidding, I don't have a girlfriend. And I was like, okay, well, let's date then. And then he was like, okay. Dude, it was so easy to convince him. Like, what a man. Like, I mean, I did like him, but like it was like, I don't mind losing you, you know? Well, I switched to my main Snapchat account and I called him and I was like, do you know who this is? And like I read the username, I kind of forgot. I think it went like Sophia something, but I was like, do you know who this is? And he's like, yeah, it's a girl that added me on Snapchat. And I was like, that's me. He literally laughed. He was like, womp womp. And I was like, what the? And then I was like, genuinely, what's your problem? And I was literally crying. He was like, womp 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 womp. He wasn't even listening to me. I was like, we're done. You're so immature. And worst to say, my ex was right. I did send everything and all the screenshots to my ex, and like I even sent him screen recordings. This was on my old phone number. But I do hold zero contact with both of them. End of 2025, Jay texted me, and he was like, I miss you. I want you back. And I obviously saw it coming because AJ and I have always been close and everything, and he was like, he wants you back, give him another chance and everything, blah, blah, blah. Well, I obviously didn't want him back, and I was like, no, I don't want you back and everything, blah, blah, blah. Like, you know what you did? And then he was just saying sorry and everything. And I was like, you're good. Like, I don't even care anymore. This was years ago. I don't care. Right? And then he was like texting me every single day. Like, I just didn't block him. But I just didn't block him. But he was texting me every single day. And he was like, hey, Emily, how was your day? Blah, blah, blah. And he was telling my best friend that he missed me. And my best friend and I had plans for a Sunday. And he, like, somehow found out. And he was like, oh, I can make this romantic. And I can ask her out with a Build-A-Bear and, like, a poster that says, will you be my girlfriend? And then I was like, no, I'm not going to the mall anymore. You have fun. I'm not going. And then this is the part what I was not expecting. Jay viewed my profile on TikTok one day. And I clicked on it because it was a black profile picture and I didn't know who it was. So I just clicked on it. Saw that there was a girl in his bio and a heart and then her initial. And then there was a video. There was a literal video of this girl kissing this man. Do you guys know that soccer pose? Where you have to have the man has to have the hands out. This is what I was talking about in my video. Here is what I'm talking about. So yeah, that's what he had posted with his ex. The next day, he viewed my profile again at night. And so did she. And I clicked on his profile. All the videos of both of them together and his bio. It was gone. Don't tell me you guys broke up. Don't tell me you guys broke up. They broke up. At that time, I was in a talking stage. I did not care about this man. I had no interest in this man. And I'm now dating this guy. So I have no interest in Jay whatsoever. The next day, his ex follows me. Since her account is private, I followed her back because I wanted to see what she was posting. Well, on her account, it was just like normal posts, honestly. And I checked her reposts and it was like, I miss him. So that's how I knew they did break up. I don't know, my sister said that me and her look alike and that he has a type for sure, but I'm not sure. I don't really think we look alike at all. And also, on this girl's stories, I don't even know her name, y'all. All I know is that she has a blue stripe on her hair. She had posted a story and they were broken up. And it was a story where she was doing these weird signals with her hands, like, if you know, you know. And her friend was recording and she was just doing weird signals and they were on FaceTime. This was on a different phone. FaceTime, weird signals, and then her friend recording, and then she posted that. And I was like, Well, yeah, guys, that was the end of the story time. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this, please follow my TikTok and my YouTube, obviously. Thank you guys. Bye.